Welcome back to the bench. Today we have a slightly different build and slightly different format because this is a PC tower case, a full tower case, and it's way too big to go under the camera for doing the old top down that I normally do. So those of you who will follow me on Twitter would have seen that I've posted about this full AT board that I picked up a little while ago. The plan was just to strip it for parts because obviously it has a lot of RAM chips here, and these can be used in the Amiga. I've got some Amiga 2000 cards that have empty space in them which this could populate. So the plan was to strip it down, but yeah, I couldn't bear to do that. Couldn't bear to disassemble this board because, you know, the board actually works fine. There's nothing wrong with it. I've already powered it up. It looks good. The only thing that's wrong is the battery. It's one of these Dallas all-in-one units. So yeah, the battery's long since dead in that, but everything else works. I managed to pick up an old ISA graphics card, plug it in, test it. I did have a hard drive card, but it was an old MFM one, so yeah, I had to get another one of those that would support ISA. Yeah, and then I recently got this case. It got delivered a couple of days ago. Sadly, the front of the case was smashed in. The seller had done a fantastic job of packing it, but no matter how well you pack things, shipping companies will always find new and creative ways to break them. Yeah, the packaging was fine, but obviously, you know, it had been dropped from a great height by the looks of it. It is quite heavy. The case on its own, without the power supply, weighs in a whopping 15 kilograms. So yeah, it's a bit of a behemoth. I'll insert a picture of the damage to the case. As you can see, it's pretty well broken. I have managed to glue it back together. So yeah, unfortunately there are bits missing, which I'm going to have to fill in. So I'll probably end up having to spray paint this just to get it to make it look even. So it was broken here, 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 and here, and a bit down here as well. So yeah, it went back together reasonably well. There's some deformation in the plastics, which means that it's never going to go back 100% as it was, but close enough. Same with the floppy drive. There was it's a 5/4 inch floppy drive that was at the top here, where and you can see the corner has broken off of there, and yeah, it's not going to go back on easily because yeah, the plastic is also deformed on here. So maybe I can heat it up and try and push it back into place and then glue the part back on. But then again, I'll probably end up having to use a bit of filler in there and then spray painting that as well. Okay. So the idea is to get this board into this case and yeah, just get it firing up for its first test. So hopefully only a short video. The power supply that came with it is a whopper. That's a very big power supply. I've tested the voltages on it. Sadly, the voltages aren't right. The 5-volt rail is perfect, but the -5 volt is 3.3. The +12 is 10 volts, and the -12 is 9 volts. So definitely some power issues on this. So it's going to need some work to get this going. If I can get it going, I did try recapping it to see if that would help, but sadly it didn't. So maybe there's some adjustment I can do. Maybe there's a Xena diode or something like that that's gone out of tolerance, so it can be replaced. Doubt I'll find a circuit diagram for it, but one can try. But what I will do is I will temporarily use this power supply. And this thing is tiny in comparison. Yeah. So yeah, you look at the size of this power supply and this temporary power supply, and yeah, it's a fraction of the size. This is a 200 watt power supply. This is it 500 watts? Let's have a look. Yeah, 500 watts max power. So yeah, you look at the size of this thing and look at the size of that thing. This time's 2.5 times more power output capable than that thing, yet it's a fraction of the size. So what I've also got, as well as this, is somewhere here. I did have it with me a second ago. I have an adapter on here that will change it from A2X to AT, so the P8, P9 plugs, so that we can plug it into the board. I already use this to test in the board, so I know it works fine, but there is no -5 on this, but yeah, as long as the board doesn't need the -5, it should be fine. So without further ado, let's get this part of the build started. Now, to get the main board in, you actually have to take the base of the case off, because in order to slide the motherboard in, because yeah, this cage is in the way, so there's no way you can maneuver this to get it in there without ripping half the components off, so let's not even try. Okay. Let's get this down, and there's just 6 screws holding it on. Okay, so that is the base off. Okay, so I'll switch back to my normal view of the top down, because it will be easier for this. So I've got a bag here with some plastic standoffs, which came with the case, along with some screws, which I'm not sure what they're for. It does have a couple of brass standoffs already in here, presumably there to actually anchor the board, while the plastic ones just pretty much just hold it in place. Okay, so let's just offer up our motherboard, make sure we get it in the right way. It would be embarrassing if we put it in the wrong way. And see where our standoffs need to go. Speaker's getting in the way. There we go. Okay. Okay, and this actually has some clips in here that stops it from going too far up. So that one is in there, but the other one is not. So something's snagging it, not sure what. Cannot see. I'll have a look in a minute. But yeah, so that brass standoff is fine. So the other one is in the way. So that can come out. Where's my driver? Obviously there is only one hole in the board, so no need for this standoff to be there. Looks like they have a series of different holes for different applications. Okay, so here we can have one. The speaker wire is getting in the way. So there for sure. So the 2 bottom holes. This hole. That hole there is nothing. Or could there be a standoff? Yeah, down here we can have a brass standoff by the looks of it. Okay. And the top edge of the board doesn't seem to have anything in. No, so they're held on by those clips. So I'll have to see what was snagging that. So if we put our brass standoff here, it was these ones along the bottom. Oopsie, don't want to kill it before I've even started. Hopefully the audio sounds better on, or okay on this video, because I'm using a different microphone. I usually use a Rode microphone that's mounted on the camera, but this time I'm using a lavalier mic, if you can just see the wire hanging down. Okay, so that, and then these two were screwed on. Oh, I seem to have pulled out one of the guides for the cards. And you need to go this way. Okay, so that needs to there, and then it needs to slide. Yeah, it's in. The middle appears to be in. Okay, now that one's jumping out. Let's just append it to make sure that that middle one is going in okay. Yep, that middle one's in fine. Okay, so something is stopping the board. I think it's just this clip here, maybe. There it goes, in that side, and then, yeah, this bottom one's not in properly. There we go. That's in there, that just needs to go in here. Okay. I think we have a winner, although I think that resistor is in the way a little bit there on the board. Resistance is futile. Not in this case. Okay, that doesn't quite line up because I said that resistor is slightly catching, but maybe if I, is that the right screw? Maybe if I just give it a nudge, it'll go in. Okay, so yeah, I've got the board in now. You just had to have a bit of gentle persuasion with that resistor. It's slightly bent out of shape, but it's not shorting or doing anything. It's not going to do any harm. So the board is in there nice and secure. I just put in a couple of screws, matching screws, just for a bit of symmetry. Okay, and all our headers are down here for all our connections, which are behind this. So let's just whip this out of the way for the moment, otherwise yeah, it's going to be in our way. We can't see what's on the board. This just holds our yeah, cards. So yeah, looks like it can go on either way, but let's stick further out that way. Yeah, now the screws positions are different. Okay, so we've got our wiring loom here. I haven't done this for donkey's years. Okay, so hard drive LED, we don't need that. This is key lock. We definitely need key lock. There is a key lock on the board, but there are 5 pins, and so yeah, I have no idea which ones to use. Okay, we have our turbo switch. Actually, it'd be a better. No, it is right. Yeah, go down the side. Our turbo switch, which goes here. Not sure if it matters which way it goes, but I'll presume it goes this way so you can read it from the bottom. That's another HDD LED, which we don't need at the moment. This is the power LED. Unfortunately, I kind of squished the contact, so I'm not sure about that. I'm not entirely sure if there is a power LED. There should be on here. I'll have to have a look at that in a sec. What other cables have we got here? HDD, we already seen that. Not sure what that one is. Not sure what that one is. Reset switch. We definitely need the reset switch. That goes on there. There is an LED for turbo, which is the white and yellow. So yeah, there's nothing marked on this. So let's try that on J4. That could be a power LED. Not sure. There is a connection there for the speaker. It has plus. It says speaker, so which one it is I don't know. So I'm going to assume pin 1 is plus. So that's most of our wiring harness on. Power LED I won't connect because I killed this plug and I don't know where it goes anyway. Okay. We'll just leave those for now. Okay, so I have a video card here. This is just a generic one, it's nothing special. It's a standard VGA card. Assembled in Mexico. Okay, so I think we're probably going to stick that second from bottom for the moment. There is had some modifications done to this case. You can't see it here, but there is a gap being cut in these sides. I presume that was for a external SCSI connector or card, because this machine did come with a SCSI CD-ROM drive in it, and the SCSI hard drive caddy. So I'm guessing that that was for the Centronics connector, because the older SCSIs, yeah, they used that type of connector. So somebody, I took the wrong screw out. So somebody obviously just hacked the case, unfortunately. Okay, and here is our interface card. Now I want to stick this at the top because I want to utilize these cutouts rather than the bracket that it's currently on. So this is just a standard multi-card adapter. This Winbond chipset. So yeah, we've got looks like parallel serial, 25-way serial, 9-way, and then game port. I would presume that's a game port. Yeah, and then we've got our IDE and our floppy controllers. So I don't know if this card works or not, because yeah, I only just got it the other day. So fingers crossed it works, and that we can get this thing at least fired up and booting from disk. I do have an old hard drive I can put it in here, but yeah, At the moment, yeah, I don't have the DOS installation disks to hand. They're in a storage box somewhere, and yeah, no idea where at the moment. I'm hoping this game port is going to fit into one of these, because those seem to be just for 9s and 25s. So yeah, might have to leave this one off for now. I don't have, I think I do have a joystick. I think I got it in a bundle of job lot. I got a old school PC joystick. So, because all the cutouts at the back appear to be for DB9s and DB25s, so yeah. Yeah. So yeah. So for the moment, I just pop that off. This will probably be a good idea. We connect the cables up first, so we can see which is pin 1 easier. Okay, so it's floppy, it's pin 1. And it's an old gigabyte cable from one of my old motherboards. This is the original IDE cable that came with it. Sniff test says that this was in the home of a smoker, or in an office of a smoker, because yes, it's smoky. Yeah, it looks like somebody's bent a few of the pins previously. Yeah, some of the pins here bent. Let's just see if I can just bend that back. I need something to bend it with. Came with a washer. Yeah, that should do the job. Let's pin 1 there, yeah. Okay, let's plug up the floppy drive here. It is using the floppy drive it came with. I did give the heads a quick clean, so I don't know whether the driver works or not. If it doesn't, I do have a another floppy drive I can put in here, not a problem. I've got plenty 3.5-inch PC floppy drives laying around. Right, power supply. Here's our power supply, and where is my adapter cable? Okay, yeah, so here's an adapter cable to go from the ATX to the P8 and P9. And they actually do have, well, I think these both have P8 on them. Yeah. I've seen some old AT power supplies being sold online, and they seem to be asking like 80 to 100 euros for them. I mean, these things are like 30 odd years old. I mean, why not just use something modern? If you can get an adapter cable, the only difference is the modern ones don't have -5. So if your computer needs the -5, then you're out of luck. You have to put some kind of adapter in there to change the voltage from -12 to -5, but it shouldn't be a problem because it doesn't. The -5 wouldn't need a lot of current. Okay, So those normally go to the switch, so we'll have to short them in order to turn the power supply on automatically. Which shouldn't be too hard, we just push them together like that. Okay, one thing to remember with you connecting these up, because obviously there's two plugs, is the blacks always go to the center. If you've done them around that way, you kill your motherboard. Not like modern boards where it's an ATX connector and yeah, you just plug straight in. It can only go in one way. This can go in two ways. So just remember, black's always to the middle. Okay, so those are shorted. Make sure they're out of the way. So it's only a small 5-volt signal on there, I think. I have a tail here for the floppy drive. Okay, power switched off. VGA cable. Monitor on. Need a power cable. Okay, and contact. And we have life. It's posting. My DOS boot disk. Let's see if the floppy drive works. No. So obviously maybe something needs configuring in the BIOS. I don't have a keyboard plugged in at the moment. I have to go and get one. Okay, so I'll change the camera position again so that you can see the screen, because I don't have a capture device. I've got my old Microsoft keyboard. This is a USB keyboard, but this is from the kind of mid-90s. So it is PS2 compliant because it originally came with this. And then we have an adapter which goes from the AT to PS2, which are basically the same. They just changed the plug, basically. Okay, so we have a keyboard connected, so we should be able to get into the BIOS now, and then hopefully we can change some settings so that our IDE card can be recognized. Okay, there we go. So it's saying we've got, what, 2 meg of RAM? Floppy disk error, FTC error, well that's normal because there's no floppy disk and there's no hard drive. System mismatch, display card, run setup. Press F1, boom, and then we're in, like Flynn. Oh, look at that. So yeah, look at the current time. It says it's the year is 55.99. I think that's slightly out. Okay, it has recognized that we have a coprocessor in here. Okay. Expansion memory is wrong. It says 1 meg, but yeah, I know we have more than that. So disk drive A. So let's see if we can actually select something. Okay, so it's a 1.44, so let's hit 4. B is none. Okay, so at the moment this disk, C and D, none. Okay, primary display, VGA. And what options does it give us? It gives us VGA, EGA, MGA, or auto setup. Press any key. Okay. Let's go to 9 to exit. Is this all correct? As far as I know, it is. Well, I think the memory's wrong because I'm pretty sure this has got 4 meg of RAM in it. check battery. No shit, Sherlock. Floppy disk controller error. Floppy drive. So obviously it doesn't like this floppy, this card. Either that or the floppy drive is faulty. We could try a different floppy drive. Let's see if it detects this floppy drive. No. So it could be that this card could be toast. As I said, I haven't tested it. Okay. What I do have is this card, which is the one that came with another purchase. But yeah, this is an MFM card, but it also has the floppy on it. So what we can do is we can quickly whip out that board, put this in, and it should boot. This floppy card. I'll probably have to go into setup first. But the floppy drive is spinning now. Okay. And it's reading our floppy drive. This is just a simple boot disk. This is not a full DOS disk. It's just one I made from an old PC I have. So we do DIR. Yeah, you can just see it's just got the basic stuff on here just to get the system up and running. I don't know if you can see it, but there is some waviness on there. I'm not sure if that's to do with the monitor or something wrong with the video card. It kind of looks like a heat haze going up the lettering. I can try it on this monitor, but I can do that later. Thank you for joining me for this video. If you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe, and ring that bell icon. And also let me know down in the comments box what you'd like to see me do with this machine. Would you like me to install Windows 3.1 or whether an earlier version of Windows NT? And for its new look, obviously I'm going to have to repaint the front because yeah, it's just broken and those cracks will show. So what colour would you like me to paint it? How about the actual case itself? I mean, that doesn't really need a repaint. Maybe the foot does because it's pretty badly scuffed up in places. Do you want me to go LGR style and get some wood grain vinyl wrap for the case? Or even the front? Nah, that would look too awful. Maybe wood grain on the outer casing, and then, who knows, black for the fascia? Or some other colour, maybe some stripes. Any suggestions? I'm open to ideas. Thank you for watching.